The finals is in that timetable where it's got everybody sitting here asking, is it going to be able to align itself with the export machine of Activision's Call of Duty or even Ubisoft's new project, xDefiant? Even more so, is the Battlefield community attracted or even aware of what the finals is trying to do? Are you aware? If not, we got you covered, and this is why I think the finals will be the best FPS game of the year. My name is LJ, and welcome to FPS Guides. The finals has quite the battle ahead of itself. While we don't know what the exact release date is yet, we do know that there is a third and final beta coming before the actual release. And this gives them a chance to take some last-minute feedback and update the game before the final product is live. So what does this mean? It means that while xDefiant is dropping their game at the end of this summer, and then later this year in November Call of Duty drops, we're going to be getting the finals content in the form of the third beta. And I think this might be exactly what they need. If these new releases come out and the finals lines up their beta with them, and then it shows that they are way ahead of the competition while still in beta, I think they could close in on the big dogs in the space. I do have to say that I don't think the finals will be able to compete with the player count with Call of Duty just because of sheer brand recognition, and it's kind of been a part of like a lot of gamers' yearly cycle of they just buy the new Call of Duty game that comes out, even if the last 3 or 4 have been kind of subpar, if you ask me. So I think the real competition is going to be with xDefiant, and I feel like their community is just a lot of gamers that are looking for a game that's not just the same old Call of Duty, that honestly seems to be just getting worse and worse over time. So let's go over the top 3 most important things for the finals and how it can succeed in this day and age with a highly competitive market filled with FPS titles. First up at number 1, timing the release date right. While the finals does have a pretty good community already, just judging by the activity going on in the Discord, I do think that they have a good chance of, for the lack of a better word, stealing players from other top games that are releasing in a similar time frame. Honestly, it just cannot mistime the launch on this game. If you're going to be releasing a game at a similar time as Call of Duty, you got to either do it shortly before and not shortly after, or if you are going to do it after, it has to be a while after to give people a chance to kind of get bored of the game and then make the switch to the finals. And if you release it shortly before Call of Duty, it gives people a chance to try it and decide right then and there if they love it or not. Obviously, if the game is good and the new Call of Duty isn't out yet, I feel like this might be the best chance the finals has, but this is not a scenario where it lives or dies by that. I think timing the release date is the lesser important topic of today's video, so let's move on to what I want to talk about next. But before we do that, if you guys are still watching this video by now, you're probably a fan of the finals, so make sure to like this video and also please consider subscribing with notifications on so that you don't miss out on any future of the finals content. Next up at number 2, properly implementing feedback after the beta. One of the biggest problems that a lot of big games, especially Call of Duty, is having right now is that when they have a beta, they don't properly implement fixes for when the full release comes. Honestly, at this point, I feel like the betas in Call of Duty are kind of just a marketing tool. Now, I don't hate Call of Duty, but I think we can all agree on the fact that it's just not what it used to be. So the finals has an easy road ahead of itself just to build player trust since the bar is so low nowadays. And I think if you guys have been in previous betas of the finals already, you can tell that they're already doing a good job at that. Constantly updating the game, fixing bugs, balancing weapons and abilities, and then taking the feedback that they get after the fact and then properly implementing changes for the next beta to make it even better. So they're already doing a pretty great job at this, and if they continue on this trend, I think that they're going to make every player happy in the end. The bar is so low for update/balancing nowadays that I was actually super surprised to see how well they were updating the game, and then how open the communication with the community was. For example, I remember a lot of people complaining about the auto turret with the medium builds and how it was just doing way too much damage for an aimbot turret that you would just set on the ground. And if I remember correctly, they patched that within a day, and when they nerfed it, they didn't just nerf it into an unusable state. They made it so that it was still pretty good, but just not OP, and I respect that. It feels like the dev balancing team truly cares about the player base and their experience, and them building trust within the community will be a huge key to their success. Finally, at number 3, a well-designed rank system with leaderboards and ranked rewards upon release. Lately, I feel like a lot of ranked systems are going down the wrong path of instant gratification and then players getting ranks that they don't deserve, or they just are cheesing to get a high rank. The concept that we've seen so far with tournament-style matches with multiple rounds of play is something that I have not seen in the gaming world yet, and I think it could really turn some heads. If they make sure that there is competitive integrity and they're properly rewarding and ranking players so that matchmaking is giving you good games over and over and over again, I feel like this alone could get people to just want to get on and grind all day. A bad ranking system eliminates players' drive to play the game and ultimately will just kill off a huge portion of the player base. Now, ranked play is not a must in the game, but if it is going to exist within the finals, I do think that if it's an enjoyable experience, this is a huge key to success. Not everyone is going to be playing ranked, but the people who do play ranked will probably also be playing casual matches, and if the ranked system is not properly rewarding players or making them want to play more, it's just going to kill off a huge part of the community and probably end up killing the game in the end. So I feel like I wanted to touch on this topic because I feel like it's super important. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video on the finals. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like on it. And if you guys like the finals content, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so that you never miss an upload. The finals is going to be a main game of ours, so we'll be coming back to it and making videos as much as we possibly can. As always, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. My name is LJ, and this has been FPS Guides.